Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling, well, maybe the biggest concept there is. Love. Everyone tries to define it, right? Poets, philosophers, everyone. But what if the clearest views come from kids?
It's a fascinating idea. We adults, we complicate things. Sometimes we're a bit cynical, maybe.
Right.
But children often have this way of, cutting right through it all.
They really do. And for this deep dive, we've got something special. It's a collection of answers from kids aged 4 to 8. Some healthcare pros just ask them simply, what does love mean? And their responses, honestly, they're kind of mind-blowing.
You really are. And what's interesting from an academic perspective is how well these answers line up with a specific idea. Dr. Michael Lukens talks about pure love, capital L, as Committed Benevolent Interest. CBI for short.
CBF.
Yeah, and this comes from his larger theory, which he calls the physics of emotioning. It's basically a framework suggesting that our choices, our emotions, our actions, they follow certain, predictable principles. And these kids' definitions, which seem to have come from some online source, author unknown, they just perfectly illustrate this CBI concept.
Right. So that's our plan today. We're going to unpack these amazing insights from kids, really give them the attention they deserve. And as we do, we'll connect them back to this idea of committed benevolent interest. It's about getting well-informed on what pure love actually looks like.
Exactly. Understanding it at its core.
Okay, let's get into it. Prepare for some moments that are, really touching and honestly pretty funny, too. So the question was simple. What does love mean? And right away, many kids talked about love as doing something, an action. Like this one from Rebecca. She's 8, she said. When my grandmother got arthritis, she couldn't bend over and paint her toenails anymore. So my grandfather does it for her all the time, even when his hands got arthritis, too. That's love.
Wow. I mean, that just perfectly captures it, doesn't it? It's not about grand gestures, necessarily. It's about consistency, commitment, doing it all the time, as she says.
Even when it's hard for him, too.
Exactly. That's the benevolent part, acting for her well-being, her comfort, even at a cost to himself.
Yeah.
And the interest is clear. He cares about how she feels, even about her toenails. It's sustained, selfless care. That's CBI in action.
It really is. And it connects to another one, maybe a bit lighter, but still about selfless action. This is from an unknown 6-year-old. Love is when you go out to eat and give somebody most of your French fries without making them give you any of theirs.
Yeah, you gotta love that one. For a 6-year-old, French fries are serious currency, right?
Oh, absolutely. The ultimate sacrifice.
It is. And it shows pure benevolence. Giving up something you really value with absolutely no expectation of getting anything back, you're prioritizing their happiness, their enjoyment over your own. That's benevolent interest right there.
And it's not just big sacrifices like fries. It's the little things, too. Like Danny, age 7, notice this. Love is when my mommy makes coffee for my daddy and she takes a sip before giving it to him to make sure the taste is okay.
See, that's so subtle, but it speaks volumes. It's this quiet, consistent interest in his comfort.
Making sure it's just right.
It's a small, committed act of care, thinking ahead, ensuring his enjoyment. It shows concern, a desire to provide that little bit of comfort. It's CBI woven into the everyday fabric of life.
It's like Elaine, age 5, said something similar, just about food. Love is when mommy gives daddy the best piece of chicken.
Exactly the same principle. It might seem small, mundane even. But choosing to give the preferred thing, prioritizing the other person's pleasure or comfort, that's a tangible act driven by genuine interest. It's benevolence in choosing the best piece.
So love is action, it's giving. But the kids also talked a lot about emotional safety, feeling secure. Billy, who was only 4, said this, and it's just, listen. When someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You just know that your name is safe in their mouth.
That one always gets me. A 4-year-old articulating that feeling of utter safety.
It's incredible.
It really is. And that safety, it implies such benevolent intention, doesn't it? A care that protects your very identity, your emotional core. It's about how someone holds you, metaphorically speaking, in their mind, in their words. That gentle regard is benevolent interest.
And that feeling of safety, that comfort, it can be restorative. Terrios also 4 put it so simply. Love is what makes you smile when you're tired.
It speaks to that uplifting power, right?
Yeah.
When someone has that benevolent interest in you, their presence, maybe even just a kind word, it can genuinely lift your spirits. It counters fatigue.
Yeah, like a little energy boost just from knowing someone cares.
Exactly. They become a source of comfort, of joy. Their interest in your well-being manifests as something that actually makes you feel better physically and emotionally.
And that support is huge, especially when you feel vulnerable. Cindy, who's 8, shared this story about her piano recital.
During my piano recital, I was on a stage and I was scared. I looked at all the people watching me and saw my daddy waving and smiling. He was the only one doing that. I wasn't scared anymore.
Oh, that's powerful. That's visible, active support right when she needed it most. His action, driven by his interest in her well-being and his commitment to being there for her.
Just him, nobody else.
Right. That single act, that focused attention, it completely changed her emotional state from scared to not scared. That's benevolent interest providing a tangible anchor.
It reminds me of what Claire, age 6, said. It's very personal, very intimate. My mommy loves me more than anybody. You don't see anyone else kissing me to sleep at night. And what's key there is the consistency, the uniqueness of the act. It points to the committed nature of that specific parental love. It's not just a feeling, it's this reliable, nightly ritual of care and reassurance.
That specific act builds that feeling of being loved, that security.
Precisely. It's personalized, benevolent interest repeated over time. That deepens the sense of being cared for.
Then there's Bobby, age 7. He offered something almost spiritual. He said, "Love is what's in the room with you at Christmas if you stop opening presents and listen."
That's remarkably perceptive. He's talking about presence over presence, isn't he?
Yeah, stop focusing on the stuff and just feel it.
It suggests love isn't always an action you do, but sometimes an atmosphere you perceive, a feeling of shared benevolent presence. But you have to be receptive. You have to listen for it, pay attention to it. It's about tuning into the underlying care, the communal benevolence in the room.
Okay, so we have actions, safety, presence. Some kids also touched on, like, the journey of love, connection, acceptance. Carl, age 5, had a pretty straightforward take on early attraction. Love is when a girl puts on perfume and a boy puts on shaving cologne and they go out and smell each other.
You got to appreciate the 5-year-old perspective. It's simple, direct.
Very direct.
But even there, you see the beginnings of mutual interest, right?
Yeah.
A desire to connect, to be appealing to the other person. It's maybe a very basic precursor to wanting to foster their well-being, starting with just wanting them to like being near you.
And that initial stuff, it changes. Emily, age 8, she saw that in her parents. She said, "Love is when you kiss all the time. Then when you get tired of kissing, you still want to be together and you talk more. My mommy and daddy are like that. They look gross when they kiss."
Right, the classic kid ending. But before that, what an insight. She's describing the shift from maybe passionate intensity to deep companionship. The kissing might slow down, but the desire to be together, to talk, that persists. That shows commitment beyond just the physical, and an enduring interest in the person themselves, their thoughts, their company.
It's like Tommy, age 6, said. Very similar idea about sticking together. Love is like a little old woman and a little old man who are still friends even after they know each other so well.
That nails a long-term aspect. Sustained commitment, sustained interest, even when you know everything about the other person, the good and the, well, maybe not so good.
Knowing all the quirks and still being friends.
Exactly. It's about that deep, enduring, benevolent relationship. It's moved way past infatuation into real companionship, built on shared history and that ongoing chosen care.
And speaking of acceptance, Mark, age 6, this one is memorable. He said, "Love is when mommy sees daddy on the toilet and she doesn't think it's gross."
Okay, yes. That one definitely paints a picture.
Right, but it speaks to something really deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Total acceptance.
It absolutely does. It's
Yeah.
about a level of intimacy and, frankly, benevolent interest that goes beyond social niceties or, keeping up appearances. It says, "I accept you fully, even in your most human, least glamorous moments." That unflinching acceptance, still holding that benevolent regard, that's a profound part of CBI.
Wow. Okay, so the last group of definitions seems to focus on love as like an intentional choice, sometimes even when it's hard, or maybe unconditional. Nika, age 6, dropped this bombshell of wisdom. If you want to learn to love better, you should start with a friend who you hate.
That one is just, wow, for a 6-year-old.
I know. Where does that come from?
It's incredible. It pushes past just liking someone. It suggests love is a conscious choice, an action you take extending benevolence, even when your feelings are maybe negative or complicated. It frames love not just as an emotion, but as a volitional act, a commitment to engaging with benevolent interest, even when it's difficult.
Which makes what Jessica, age 8, said really important, too. You really shouldn't say, "I love you," unless you mean it. But if you mean it, you should say it a lot. People forget.
Yes, that connects directly to the commitment and the interest part of CBI. First, the intentionality, mean it. Don't just say it. Be authentic in your benevolent interest.
Right. Mean it.
But then, the commitment part, Say it a lot. Why? Because people forget. It acknowledges that this benevolent interest needs ongoing affirmation. It needs to be expressed consistently, not just assumed or taken for granted. The words reinforce the commitment.
That makes so much sense. And then maybe the purest form of this unconditional thing comes from Marianne, age 4. Love is when your puppy licks your face even after you left him alone all day.
Ah, yes. The unconditional love of a pet. It's such a perfect, simple illustration.
No holding grudges there.
None at all. The puppy's reaction is pure benevolent interest. It shows affection, care, welcoming, regardless of your previous actions. There's no judgment, no resentment. Its interest in you, its desire for connection just overrides everything else. It's CBI in its most sort of unadulterated form.
All these insights,
Yeah.
they're just incredible. And it leads perfectly into a story that kind of sums it all up. It's often told about Leo Buscaglia, the author. He was judging a contest, apparently, for the most caring act or gesture. And the winner wasn't some grand, complex thing. It was a 4-year-old boy.
This story really brings it all home, I think.
Yeah. So this little boy, his elderly neighbor next door, had just lost his wife. The boy saw the man sitting outside on his porch, crying. And what did he do? He just walked over, climbed up onto the man's lap, and sat there.
Just sat there.
Just sat there. Later, his mom asked him, "What did you say to him?" And the boy replied, "Nothing. I just helped him cry."
Wow.
No words needed. Just presence. Just helping him cry.
That is, quite possibly, the most perfect illustration of committed benevolent interest you could find. Think about it. Pure benevolence, recognizing suffering, and instinctively moving to comfort. Pure interest, deep empathy, seeing the pain and choosing to engage, not turn away. And pure commitment to staying present, physically entering that space of grief, sharing the burden without any agenda, not trying to fix it, just being there for the other person's well-being.
Just sharing the burden.
Exactly. Radical empathy in action. And if you think about it through the lens of the physics of emotioning, it's this beautiful, almost predictable outcome of unadulterated, benevolent intent meeting recognized suffering. It's powerful.
It really ties everything together. What an amazing collection of thoughts from these kids. It's just striking how their simple, honest words cut through all our adult noise about love, you know?
Absolutely. They get right to the core.
Yeah.
And time after time, whether it's painting toenails, sharing fries, saying a name safely, or just sitting with someone, it points back to actions. Actions driven by genuine concern, sustained focus, and the willingness to act on that concern.
Committed benevolent interest. CBI.
That's it. And understanding love this way, through this CBI lens, it isn't just theoretical. For you listening, it can actually help you see it more clearly in your own life. Recognize it when it's given to you, and perhaps be more intentional about how you give it. It's like a practical guide to the basics of human connection.
So what does this all mean for you? Maybe the next time you see someone being kind, whether it's a big gesture or something tiny like checking the coffee, ask yourself, is that committed benevolent interest in action? How does it feel to really notice those moments?
Observing those expressions of pure love.
Yeah, and maybe even think about practicing it. Because perhaps, like that little boy showed us, sometimes the most loving thing you can possibly do is just help someone cry.